What's up guys, Ron Purdy here, back with Cool Tech. But today, Cool Tech is going to be a little bit different. We're doing a transportation edition. Over the last couple of months, I'm sure you guys have noticed there's been a lot of sort of alternative electric transport, from hoverboards to boosted boards, all that kind of stuff is cropping up. I wanted to pick two of my favorites recently that have not been covered, the URB-E as well as the specialized electric bike. Give my 2 cents and get your guys' feedback as well. Let's go ahead and get started. So first we have the Specialized Turbo S. The way this works is essentially it's like a normal bike, and you can definitely pedal it in a normal bike format. But if you would like, you can have it in electric mode, where when you pedal it engages a 500-watt electric motor to power you on forward. So it helps you get up to speeds up to supposedly 30 miles an hour. We maxed out at 27, but it's still plenty fast. The feeling is very unnerving. It's kind of strange. You pedal and you go way faster than you should be going. But after riding around for a little bit, you definitely get used to it, and it's a very feasible form of transport, other than it's $7,000. So quite expensive, but I will say if this is your primary form of transport, it's kind of worth the money. You get regen braking, you get really good range. Specialized claims between 35 to 60 miles, so it's a pretty broad spectrum. But if you want to go in eco mode, I'm sure you can get closer to that 60 range, which is crazy far. I don't know who's going to be riding a bike those kind of distances, but if you are, props to you and your quads. If you do somehow manage to run out of power, it takes about 3.5 hours to charge up to full on a 110-volt wall outlet. Something of note is that the bike actually comes with an app which gives you tons of extra information, like what the battery life is, how fast you're going, where you're going, how long you've been riding for, how many miles you've covered, all that good stuff. And I could go on and on and on with specs, so I'm going to cut it short here because this is not a review, but the point is that this bike is very practical, very fast, and very expensive, so lots of all those things. Its biggest strength is that unlike other electric forms of transport, when you run out of juice, you can still ride it like a regular bike and get to where you're going, so that sort of eliminates range anxiety. Moving on to the URB-E, which they are calling is the first electric foldable scooter. I'd immediately like to sort of debunk this whole foldable thing. It is foldable, but by no means is it portable. It's just too heavy, it's awkwardly shaped, and that might be the only negative thing I say about the URB-E, other than it's expensive. Not quite as expensive as the Specialized bike, but still expensive. It's about $1,700 for the URB-E Black Label, which is the one we tested, and it starts it in about $1,500. So I know a lot of you guys asked us to do cheaper stuff in Cool Tech, so of course I did the sensible thing and went for much more expensive stuff. Apologies. In terms of specs, to get those out of the way, the URB-E charges from 0 to full in about 4 hours, which is not bad at all. It weighs about 35 pounds, which again doesn't lend itself to be the most portable device, but it's not terrible. It has a top speed of 15 miles an hour and can go up to 20 miles in range, which is good from a practicality standpoint. But where the URB-E really wins is in its personality. The best comparison I can make to it is it's like a Fiat, or like the original Mini Coopers. It is so small and it looks like a bit of a joke, to be honest, but it doesn't take itself as a joke. It takes itself very seriously. Whereas the Specialized bike, you can launch it up to 27 miles an hour, which is really fast. There's no drama about it, it just does it. You get on the URB-E, you twist the throttle, it's front wheel drive, and you'll get crazy amounts of wheel spin. You'll get smoke from the tire and it'll take off at 10 miles an hour. Yeah, it doesn't actually go that fast, but it takes itself so seriously that it's kind of endearing. You just love it right out the gate after using it. It has a little spring under the seat, which is a very comfortable seat, by the way. So to push this to the limit, we took it off-road, and it did pretty well. This is, again, part of the spirit that the URB-E has as a product. It just thinks it can do so much more than it should be able to do at that size, and it did fine. Again, you don't look or feel cool until you realize that the URB-E thinks it's really cool, and that makes you feel really cool. It's infectious. And so that's it for this video, guys. Let me know what you thought of this version of Cool Tech and what you think of the URB-E and the Specialized Turbo S. I'm very curious to hear your thoughts. Leave us a comment below. This video was not easy to make. We almost lost a drone in the making of it. So give us a thumbs up if you want to give us props for getting that drone out of a tree. Hit subscribe for more content like this in the next version of Cool Tech, as I promise you there's more cool stuff coming. My name is Ron Purdy. Thank you again so much for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. And before you guys go, I want to take a quick second to thank our friends over at Audible who made this episode of Cool Tech possible. I am a huge fan of Audible. I drive a daily commute from LA to Irvine, where our Techno Buffalo offices are, and I listen to tons of audiobooks. Some of my favorites are Steal Like an Artist by Austin Kleon, the Ask Gary V book, as well as Bold by Peter Diamandis. It's all in an effort to make my sometimes 2-hour commute useful, to keep me learning, keep soaking in information. And because we love Audible so much, they want to hook our fans up, you guys, with a 30-day free trial. If you go to audible.com/techno, that's where you can get that. Again, that's audible.com/techno. Check it out. Let me know what books you guys are listening to, what books I should check out, and let's exchange lists.